When preparing to tile any area, it's very important to prime the surface to ensure a strong and permanent bond with the tile adhesive.
Tiling onto some surfaces require preparation, not all of them. So prior to tiling, make sure that you have a look at what the tiles you've purchased. What do they recommend on the box you need to use? Then have a look at your surface. On some surfaces, like a wood-floated surface, if you go with ceramic tiles, you don't need to do any priming. But if you go onto a power-floated surface and you're installing porcelain tiles, ceramic tiles, natural stones, you'll need to prime the surface and make the surface ready for tiling.
Before you get started with the priming process, you'll need to make sure you have the following equipment: a broom to clear the area of debris, a mechanical mixer, a block brush, and your safety gear, which includes knee pads, work gloves, a mask, and protective goggles. Then for the primer, you'll need 1 part key coat primer and 2 parts tile adhesive, along with a bucket to mix your slurry.
Before priming, make sure that the substrate is clean and dry. Also ensure that the curing periods for the substrate has commenced. We also need to ensure that any hollow sounding, loose or cracked screeds are knocked out, repaired before we commence with the tiling.
It's essential that the surface area that you're going to prime is clean and completely free from debris and contamination. Once that's done, you need to make a slurry by mixing the 1 part key coat, in this case a 5-litre drum, with 2 parts per volume of dry tile adhesive. You can also replace the tile adhesive with 1.5 parts of ordinary Portland cement. Make sure that you add the dry ingredients to the wet to ensure an easy mix. Make sure that the slurry has a smooth, paint-like consistency. You can then use your block brush to spread the slurry onto the surface, making sure that you get good coverage. You then need to leave the area to dry for 4 to 6 hours. To test that it's dry, place your hand on the surface, and if no residue comes off on your fingers, you're good to go.
The do's and don'ts of using primers: ensure that you use the same product from the same brand throughout the installation. Do not adulterate the primer, and always use the primer as instructed in the installation instructions. Never dilute the primer, as this will break down the primer and result in a failure.
As with any project, preparation is key. Priming before tiling is most important to ensure a long-lasting bond for your tiles.